Welcome back to Great Programming. I'm Chase Ingram.
I'm Captain America.
And along with me is Bill Grundler.
Wolverine.
And along with me is the other Bill Grundler.
I did the Frisbee shows, for fuck's sake.
Facts.
There you go. There you go.
Everybody gets a sound bite, and there's really no rhyme or reason for most of those, but I was like, I need that sound bite. And I had to go behind behind your back to get that one.
Deep. You went deep. Yeah, I like it. That's me. That's
Also,
me
is this your
bragging
first
to the
time
world
on,
of what a good guy I am.
Is this your first time on our show? I think I dragged you onto the CrossFit Games podcast once, but I don't think you've been on here.
I don't think so either. I think you're right.
Well, welcome, dude. It's about freaking time, by the way.
I'm pumped. Thank you.
I didn't know how to switch the where we sit because now I'm just between two Bills.
Bill Senior and Bill Junior.
It's like, yeah, it's a before after. I can't.
Junior.
Except this one's the older one.
Senior.
I should have shaved for this show.
No,
dude. Yeah, I like your white beard.
Me too. I like it too.
I mean, I'm getting a little
with the
gray
black
there.
mustache too. That's the cool.
It's almost like you planned it that way. Like that's
people accuse
impressive.
me of dyeing it. People accuse
me of dyeing my shit too.
Yeah, your shit.
Are you finally getting any grays?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh yeah, dude. I look.
Oh, God,
They're in
about
there.
damn time, dude.
I mean, I got like 8. No.
Hey, are your mom and dad gray, Bill?
My dad, when he was still around, he was going gray, but he just basically bicked his head, so you really couldn't tell what he had. My mom's gray. Yeah. She's like 82, 83.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
my dad went early, like in his 20s, believe it or not.
Wow.
And my mom went really slow, and I think that's what I'm doing. I'm just going slow and steady.
Well, what are you talking about, slow and steady, dude?
I mean,
were
just up
complete
here.
white on the bottom and black on top.
Yeah, I mean, my mom doesn't have a beard, so
I was getting. I think the last show we were doing, maybe it was Clock. Or maybe it was CrossFit, saying that I was asymmetric. That you could turn my head upside down, and it'd be exactly the same between the beard and the hair.
Oh,
what is that called? It's
Wad Zombie needs to make a meme of that. Flip you upside down. Turn you into like Beaker.
I'm like a playing card. No matter which way you turn me, I'm still right side up.
Yeah.
What is that thing called where the words the same, not just spelled the same way back and forth, but I know
you
can use the fonts that it looks the same.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. They do that with the Illuminati.
Like 6-year-old girls know that word.
Oh man, I had a buddy that had a firefighter tattoo. It said fire, and if you turned it upside down, it said fire. Also, the way it was written in Old English.
Oh, sweet.
That's cool.
Yeah. Anagram. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Who got that?
Palindrome.
Who's the 6-year-old girl in the audience?
That would be
Corey the
Beck.
nerd.
All right, good job, Corey. I just feel like that's like in the 2nd grade, some girl will be like, "Do you know what an anagram is?" And then she would fucking let me know how stupid I am.
Oh, palindrome.
Palindrome. I think it might be palindrome.
Yeah.
Anagram is like
honestly,
mom. Same way.
I was
one
thinking
way
about
versus
two
the
different things. Like race car is the same forward and back, but I was thinking of a way the font is created. It doesn't have to be the same word. I don't know.
Yeah, it is palindrome. I just looked it up. Yep.
Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah.
Mom, radar, rotator. Those are the only ones I got.
All right.
Great job. Strong work.
Nice. It's like you and Bill. Just, that's what you guys are.
Yeah.
Next to each other.
There's
all right.
a lot of OGness right
Oh, wait,
now.
my mind went to some pretty dirty places when you said that. I was thinking about what Bill and I could put between us.
Two big noses.
Hey, yeah, there's no room between you.
I know.
All right.
Yeah, you got to get up in that other corner, Chase. You can't fit between us like that.
All right, today's show is a Mount Rush Moments episode, and we're probably going to expose some of I know I've said some of these things. I definitely have one. I'm pretty sure Bill said some of these things, but we're going through the 4 most, 4 each for our Mount Rush Moments show of cliche, annoying, please never say this again, just beat to the ground phrases used in CrossFit broadcasts. And I fully expect to be thrown underneath the bus several times. And no, that's not true, Greg.
No, that's like the ABC old school wide world of sports one. You can't. That was used perfect. It was never used again.
And should never be used again. Just like see on the leaderboard, but apparently everybody likes to copy Rory McKernan. I might even put that on there. But
dude, that's an honorable mention right there.
Hey,
So
just so you know, that's not the real Greg Glassman. Greg texted me the other day. He's like, "Do you know that there's an imposter me?" He goes, "Yeah."
yeah. We know this isn't the real Greg.
Like, he
Greg
says,
knows this.
"What do you do about it?" I'm like, "Dude, he's been around for like 3 years."
Yes, but while you guys are listening, we'll take listener submissions and we'll read those at the end of the show. But Sevan,
Can I use some of them?
sure, yeah, throw them in the
Okay,
chat
okay,
because
okay.
Sevan needs a couple.
Well, think about why do you even think that we thought that you would be a good pick to be on here, Sevan? Why do you think we grabbed you for this?
So you guys could shine?
No, dude. No.
Yeah.
Okay. As one who is in control of the media department for CrossFit, as
Yes.
one that is in the space, as one that has listened to all the CrossFit games, as one that did the CrossFit Games movie, as one that has seen all of us broadcasters do all of our thing, which is really funny, by the way. You did sound exactly like Justin Judkins on Kill Taylor with your voice all messed up.
Yeah.
It was killing me.
Wow.
Killing me.
Wow.
But because you've seen all of this stuff, so all of the things that are irritating, or as a media person, but then as a fan also, like, what was like, shut the fuck up. Why the hell do you keep saying that?
I want to say
That's why
this.
you're here.
I want to say this about the media team over at CrossFit.
Should I?
Great job. Okay, good. Okay,
There are so many.
Out?
There's so much homegrown talent there, and specifically, I think of Sean Woodland and Tommy Marquez, and they came so far, and I think they're both so fucking good at what they do, and then of course you two, and to be completely honest, anytime anyone's ever really critical about the commentating, I really just think it's always over the top. I'm pretty like I do see Sean Woodland as the voice of CrossFit. Like there's just no fucking doubt. I like as much as I make fun of Tommy and stuff when he says stuff like nothing burger, or he'll pull like these quotes out like some Chick Hearn shit. It's like I'm really appreciative of all of it, and I don't I think the comments are way too fucking harsh in the comment section about it, and I really appreciate. I feel like in the last year the comments have moved away from being harsh towards the people, maybe the commentators, but I mostly read the chat. And another thing to point out, and Chase and Bill, you guys could probably reflect on this better than I can, but the poor commentators aren't watching the event; they're watching the cameras.
Yeah.
And so if whoever's in the truck is calling the wrong cameras, the commentators are kind of fucked. And that's been my biggest criticism. Not so much what they say, but just the fact that, like, hey, we're not focusing on the right thing. But I give them so much, movement in that.
Yeah.
So
the commentators are at the mercy of the producer and director most of the time.
They really are. But what's happening, I think, a lot of times, to your point with that, is that's a lot of what the color commentator's job is to direct that camera. Like, they're supposed to be watching that. And that's I think the biggest thing.
Do they do that in CrossFit though, Bill? And Bill,
yeah.
like that? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So like if me and Chase are working, or me and Sean are working, I get on the mic and I'm saying, go to this lane. I need to talk why this person is doing this. And that's the difference that I've seen from CrossFit pre-2020 to now, is all of the media training that the commentators were given, whether you were on the desk show or you were on live broadcast or whatever, you were taught what your role was. And I think a lot of the roles have been lost, especially with the people that they have in there now. They're plugging people in, and those people haven't been given the, hey, here's your role. And the toughest job, and I've said this about Chase, is Chase, out of everyone, has done all of the spots, play-by-play, color, and having to understand the difference in that. Done it with teams, done it with individuals, and that is not a easy game to play, because they are two different boxes. And if you aren't on the right box, then what ends up happening is you have two commentators that are just running over each other, and both of them are talking about so-and-so grabbed the bar and they're all walking over here to the, maybe I'm a menace I am a little bit. We have a lot of conversations on the side. But there's a lot of talking that goes on because everyone thinks that they're supposed to be talking about who moved to the bar next. And there's one person's job. That's play-by-plays only.
Yeah.
The other thing is too is people, and this follows along with what you're saying. Sherwood, Katie Motter, who's the girl who owns CrossFit Santa Cruz West? Annie Sakamoto. Great desk people.
Yeah.
Great desk people. And then the other thing, if I was gonna be critical at all, I would say I would have really liked to have seen the sport go more towards Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley. And by
Dude,
that I
the
mean,
TNT broadcast desk is so awesome.
yeah, I don't give a shit about those sports, but I think they should have done more Bill Grundler, more Chase Ingram, more Jason Khalipa. I think they should have gone that way with people who get agitated and excited, and you're, as the listener, you're waiting for them to pop off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
And
Well, that's
we
that's
don't
more of
have
a
that.
pure energy. It's a pure emotion rather than, and I'll be the first to say it. When you're on the air for CrossFit and you're calling the games, like you are directed by, you are supposed to talk a particular way. They want you to say certain things. You're not allowed to be completely honest about every single thing that's going on because they want to. They're presenting a product, and that voiceover is part of that product. But if you have the side, this is one of the things that, like, what you would do, like your little side gigs that you'd have on the side. People watch that because it's like, let's get a real response to it.
Yeah.
And not that when Chase and Sean do their thing, or when me and Sean, or when me and Chase do it, not that we aren't being real, we are, but you are within guidelines of what you're trying to do. I mean, that was one of the things that Justin would always tell us. He's like, you have to talk about the test. Here is the test. Explain the test. Here's the story that we're trying to present. You need to talk this way. You need to say these things. Whereas on something like your show, in between, or like, when we do the pre and post of different events of these different competitions, it's more like, let's just talk about it.
Yeah, someone needs to be called a crybaby. Like, oh, look, so and so once again is sabotaging their efforts by there's Camille being a crybaby again.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? Or, hey, that was a dirtbag move what that person did to that athlete by kicking their rope. Like, you need people. Yeah, you need that. And it's hopefully there needs to be if the audience isn't complaining about the right things, like, you don't want them complaining like, hey, I can't hear you. Right. Or there's a stutter. But if they're complaining like, hey, that wasn't cool what Bill said, that's the dude you keep. Like, soon as people start complaining to me about Taylor Self, I'm like, yeah.
Why?
That's all I need.
Because people are going to hang out and want to chat and talk and interact and be part of it.
Yes. Hey, he's over the top. I know.
Great.
Thank you.
Even better.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's
But these things that we're gonna reveal today gotta go.
I have some that I just hope die forever.
Yeah, me too. Both of mine I hope I never hear again.
All right, Sevan, you've probably never seen the beginning intro of one of these shows, but we do have very special music to introduce our Mount Rush moments.
I'm Captain America.
Oh, that's not it.
Hey, Bill, look how far I can spread my fingers apart.
That was great.
Hey, Bill, look how far I can spread my fingers apart, Bill.
Listen, I talk with my hands, okay?
Look how far.
How many times I've hit my mic during a podcast, because it's always good that the broadcast mic's here because I don't get tangled up. But
look, my fingers can do yoga. Look at
that is not what we're here to do.
Oh, okay.
It's not a roast for Chase, although some of these will be. I'm going to throw this out there as these aren't ranked 1 through 4, right? These are just 4 of mine, but I wanted to get this out right off the back. And the phrase, calm, cool, and collected. If I never hear a broadcaster say, so-and-so's blah, blah, they're just calm, cool, collected. Like, if I never hear that again, it'll be a great day. I am so sick of commentators punting to that phrase on any sports broadcast, let alone a CrossFit broadcast. Think of something else about, like, who was the...
How about that person's as chill as a cucumber? No good.
Chill as a cucumber, cool's the other side of the pillow. Like, those are still used a lot, but the calm, cool, collected.
Look at the tremendous poise Annie Thorsdottir has.
Think of something new, yes. And a lot of times that'll happen when a broadcaster will just lose their train of thought. So all those crutch things come in. They're like, oh, this is a phrase I know and love, and I'm panicking. And then you'll hear that. And then I'll always think, I'm like, that person totally got lost in their train of thought, and they just threw that out there as a description. So calm, cool, collected. Kill it. I'm over it.
I'm gonna try to use. I'm gonna write all these down and try to use them all in one sentence at the end of the show.
Just type them all into your name on the video screen. We'll just fill up the whole thing.
Should I just get the easiest one out of the way, just to get it out of the way?
It's not mine. God, I hope it's not mine.
It's probably gonna be yours. It's gonna be yours for our sport. The one that I cannot stand, and we were told to stop saying it 5 years ago, probably more than that. Punching the ticket to the games. Punching the ticket to the games. You know, if he gets through this, he's going to be punching his ticket to the game, and that's the third one up there, and she's going to be punching her ticket to the game. How does it feel when you punch your ticket to the games? You know, last year you punched your ticket to the games, and you come here this year, and you're going to be punching your ticket to the games. Shut the F up already. I texted Mike when he was the Canadian Mike. Arsenault, when he was doing the interviews, and I told him, I go, don't you even say it, dude. Because it was being said, like, it must have been said 30, 40 times. It was being said so much. And he said something, what did he say? You were able to get yourself to the games. And I go, whoa, you stepped awfully close to that one. He's like, I know, it's tough. I'm down here. It's happening by osmosis. It's happening so much.
Hey, what are some other ones? Well,
we got like
we take
here for.
No. I mean, some other replacements for
qualifying to the games, achieving their dream, making it to the podium.
CrossFit Games, here we come.
Anything but punching the ticket to the games.
You're going to Dickies.
Totally.
There you go. Yeah.
Hey, man, you made it.
Texas, next stop for Bill Grundler, Texas. How's that feel, Bill?
Yeah, I punched my ticket to the games, and
you're not going
to myself in the face.
You're not going to Texas, just so you know.
I mispunched my ticket.
Maybe you are. Who might have
spot? There's another one.
I had to get rid of that one.
That's a good one. That is one I heard. I just read. If like Sevan Matossian is reading the comments, that one came up every time it was said on the broadcast. It was repeated on the in the comment section. It was like a drinking game.
That would be the drinking game for sure. For sure.
Okay, you ready for mine?
Get it.
I'm coming out hard. This is the worst one.
Okay.
And it's not even a word or a phrase.
Oh, that's good. Wait, who's that? Is that Adrian?
Just any cackling. Just any cackling.
Just any cackling.
I can't. You
mean everything's not totally
Tucker
funny?
Carlson, every time he cackles or does his laugh, I fucking.
Yeah, it's bad.
I just don't.
Yeah.
Just a judgmental asshole, I guess. But
cackle. Dude, not everything is a joke. Yeah, I totally agree with that. You can say something.
Like, if you make me laugh, I'm going to laugh.
Right.
But I'm not going to make myself laugh.
Right. Hey, when I watch the behind the scenes, I catch myself doing it all. All I hear is one nervous laughter from myself. So I get it.
Really? Yeah.
But the cackle on a big live stream, no.
Okay. When you laugh,
yeah,
you're actually laughing. Like there's an actual audible laugh where you do that sit back that you just did. It's not I'm trying to say this and I just want to kind of keep it light. So I'm going to throw a couple little giggles in there just to do it because there was nothing that was funny that was said.
Right.
It's not a joke.
Right.
It's not, even if it's like a humorous thing, it doesn't need to have a right after it.
What is it called when you're nervous about something? So you do this thing every time? Like not a defense mechanism, but a
coping, nervous twitch,
something like that, right? I could see that being now. It's just like don't have that a part of it, but they always do this thing where they're nervous in front of people, so they'll just kind of like giggle. You know what I'm talking about?
I totally know what you're talking about. And if someone's really, I do it all the time. But if someone's really, if it's over the top or if it's done too often, it's like, okay, stop. Yeah. You have to show some discipline.
It's no different than saying all the time on the broadcast or or like crutch phrases. I say, I'm going to put myself out there. I'll say, when I'm having a conversation, or some people say right. All right, right. And
I do so
So is another one.
Yeah.
And
So
the nervous
on this
laughter
arch.
thing, I lump into crutch phrases, crutch words that just absolutely 100% need to be eliminated.
You know.
And it's the hardest thing to do because during that time, that's when you're thinking. You're trying to think of the next thing that you're going to say.
I would write them down on every heat sheet I had.
Yeah.
So is that your entry? Did you just go again? Or is that just a bonus one?
No, that was just leading off of this is part of the conversation, right? Oh yeah, I get it. Here's other ones. No, my next one is like, are we on round 2?
I have a really unpopular one. I know a lot of people are going to love this next one. It's been a pet peeve of mine forever.
Okay, well, don't wait. Just wait.
I'll wait. I'm just building up tension.
This is more of not the exact words used, but this comment brought in at certain moments during heats in events when we're all watching one person suck. And everybody comes around them and the announcer will go, "This is the true spirit of CrossFit.
Oh.
The loudest cheers are often for the last place person, and this is what CrossFit is all about." I never want to hear an announcer say that again. One, because this whole ceremonial circle around the last place person might as just well be a bonfire. It is such bullshit. It is just a bunch of sharks in the water watching someone suck, right? And they're all clapping because you know what? Everybody cheers for the person who's not them because they're happy. They're not last.
Yeah.
Why do I know this? Because I've been that person multiple times before in competition. And I'm like, get the fuck away from me. I don't need your pity claps because now I'm getting last when I was whooping your ass for the first half of this competition. I don't want to hear it. It's fake. It's bullshit. It's sport. Maybe that's for your gym, but all this show in here, I never want to hear someone draw attention to that again on a broadcast because that is not what is happening.
So what should they say? God, they are terrible out there. It must be the worst.
You ain't punching your ticket.
Exactly.
Okay, wait a
Exactly.
I do think that there are some exceptions. There are some people who transcend certain rules. Like I'm sure there's someone who can get away with the cackle, or maybe if you heard, I don't know, someone who's been around the games for 15 years talk about, now that's the spirit I like to see. I can't remember who it was, but it's in the behind the scenes that's behind the paywall right now. The Sevan podcast, pay your $20 and get free access now. Not free access.
Look at that.
But Kelsey Keel was on the floor, and it was I think it must have been the snatch event. Did we have a snatch event in semifinals this year?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was like 10 8 6 4 2. Okay, and there was a girl, I can't remember which girl it was, but she said she was there, and Kelsey was done, and her and Kelsey were neck and neck on the leaderboard, and Kelsey yelled at her a cue. And the girl had never heard the cue before. It was something like really weird. Like I don't remember. And the girl came off, and she's like, "Yeah, Kelsey yelled at me the cue, and I got the fucking lift."
I like that.
That's
coaching.
cool.
You do like that? But isn't that part of like the sharks around you and one of them whispers at you?
I don't want to make it too much about the moment itself because some are there genuine, some are not. It's the announcer trying to make it bigger than it is. And they do it every time it happens. I'm tired of announcers doing that every time it happens. And the one
that's what makes CrossFit so unique.
Yes.
That we come up and we cheer on our competitors, that thing.
Yes. But so for example, a massive exception is the Capitol, right? That was epic in all proportions, whether it was
Fusillade. You're talking about the Fusillade at the end.
Like that was Madison Magic or that goes down as one of the greatest moments I think in Madison ever.
For sure,
and that was really cool because it was all genuine.
Right.
And I even made mention to that on the show or on the broadcast about this is what you get in the affiliate for real. With the last place, like there are exceptions. There's exceptions to all of this, but for the most part, every time it happens, I'm like, here it comes. Here, in come the broadcasters. And this is the best part about CrossFit is it's the last place person gets the most cheer. I was like, just enough.
And I think that there's got to be another way to say that because Mike put on here that every announcer in every sport does that. They don't all cheer the glory of the person that's getting their ass handed to them. I mean, they may talk about the person. I mean, like if it's a longer event, you have one person's out there and there's like 7 minutes left to go. Guess what? Everyone's going to be down there. All the athletes are like, well, I'm bored off my ass, so I guess we should go and cheer them on because that's what we do. So, okay, but like to try to make it 5 minutes of, this is the spirit of this is not the spirit of CrossFit. That's in the gym. That's in the gym when you're here in CrossFit, like you're doing battle to be the best athlete in the world, the fittest athlete in the world.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a dick, but like you're not going to go and pick people up. In fact, talking about that, I remember Miko Salo days, 2011. I think it was the sandbag event. He didn't do very well in it, and he walked immediately from the floor out of the tennis stadium. And you, Sevan, were like, who the hell does this guy think he is? Get your ass back out here. You don't walk out when other people are competing.
I remember that.
And I mean, and that's what we thought back in the day because we were all doing our thing. We were this group, and there was like a there's an element of a code of honor between warriors. And like, hey, I'll do battle with you. I'll try to kick your ass. You'll kick my ass. And when we're done, handshake, we stand up. We're cool. We can go have a beer, whatever. But that is when you're doing battle, not like, okay, man, you're getting your ass kicked. Maybe a couple. All right, let's go. Come on, pick up the bar, but not sit around and you got the whole circle, like the circle thing.
The circle of death,
dude. It is so bad.
Yeah. Hey, what do you think it is about the that Fusile thing could have turned out totally different. It actually could have been where like everyone was in but Fusile and everyone left and started making their way back to the next event back at the stadium, which was like a 10-minute walk. Why do you think? And we see that in some events, right? We see like, hey, it's a 20-minute event. Everyone's done in 11 minutes, and there's like some big dude finishing a run, and then he's got to do his 10 clean and jerks, and like half the place is emptied out. Right. Why do you think that one didn't go down like that?
I think because nobody tried to make it into something, and it just naturally did.
Okay,
which is the best part. Bringing in.
It wasn't staged at all or orchestrated.
Not staged at all. And then they brought in the fans that could get in behind her on the stairwell, and then everybody circled around it. And it was just watching it take place. It was just this weird moment in time where everything happened the right way. I mean, you could say except for Rebecca, but I would say especially for Rebecca. What a moment, because it isn't necessarily about last. I know she thinks of it as last place, and everybody's watching me struggle on this event, but it was everything opposite of what I am currently complaining about.
Do you think she hated it? I'm sure she spoke on it.
I don't know why it made her the most popular games athlete that she could be for where she's been.
Well, it wasn't the athletes circling her up either, though. It was the crowd.
Yeah.
It was like following behind her.
Right. Right. There's 1,000 people like basically like swarming her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
That's awesome. All right, Bill, what's your...
All right, mine.
Are we supposed to be talking about these like this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a phrase that I think that is always used incorrectly. Incorrectly. It's not used on a particular portion of the event if it doesn't actually do what the phrase is saying that it's supposed to be doing. When we're talking about moving day.
Oh, God.
How can it be moving day? Like, especially at this semis. You have 3 events on the last day. How is the second day that only has 2 events? You've only had 1 event. Wow. How is it moving day? You're not moving.
Because it's Saturday, Bill.
No, because it's Saturday. Exactly. Moving day doesn't equal Saturday. Moving day doesn't equal the second day. Moving day equals the day where there is the most points that are available to get people to where it is that they're trying to go, to whatever thing they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Hey, so you don't mind?
Should I answer this one real quick?
Yeah, you can answer it.
Okay. It's not that I don't want to do broadcast stuff.
Wait, hold on, Bill. Member for 2 months, a level get with the programming. I have a message for Bill Grunler. Why aren't you on the broadcast anymore, Bill?
Because CrossFit, I honestly, I don't officially know. We whenever we were given whatever level of information of how we were doing or what we were doing, by our media team, I was always told that doing whatever they wanted me to do, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh yeah, CrossFit that they didn't want you anymore." And I go, "Oh, why?" And I didn't get an answer. So I don't know why.
Was it political?
There may have been some of the things. I know that I'm not good when it comes to playing political games.
Sure. Yeah, you are rough around the edges.
I like to say that I'm just a passionate Italian.
Right.
Right.
Right. That's what I meant.
If I
You're
like
a
you know it.
You're a succulent. You're a cacti.
So I think that may have been what it is. I still enjoy being out and talking. I like I've done the master stuff. They've had me do that. I'll do the stuff like with you, Sevan, on your show, and I'll do some I've actually, honestly, I've done the broadcasting for a long time. Over a decade, and I loved every bit of it. I love that I still get to do some occasionally. But I just love being able to talk CrossFit. So I've done some MCing stuff, which has been kind of fun.
Oh yeah.
I do the stuff like with you, Sevan, that we've done on when we did the quarterfinal stuff and the Kill Taylor stuff, like that's super fun. So I like the fact that I am not restricted, honestly, by any sort of anybody's handcuffs. I can be me. So I'm okay with it. But I like doing it.
I was really hoping you were going to say, honestly, I really enjoyed your show better than any broadcast I ever did.
Dude, I had fun.
I was really hoping you were going to say.
Well, it does allow Bill to be
me.
Free.
Yeah. I'm the one that ends up saying
quarterfinals together. Is that what we did? We did quarterfinals.
Yeah. In fact, it was your mom that came in and said, "You know what? You and Bill are really good together."
Oh yeah, it was
so
awesome.
There,
yeah.
dude.
Totally.
Yeah. I think that I have moved. I'm an older guy now, and I think I'm now one of those guys that sits up on his porch and is like, "You damn kids, you rock and roll music." Hey. So I like to be able to say "fuck" every once in a while. It's okay.
I want to say that
What's up, Seth?
Of all the broadcasters, for the right reasons, you held the crown for. I wonder what Bill's going to say. And so to get rid of that person seems. I don't know if you're interested in engaging the fans. That's the person you want to keep.
I will always make myself available to talk to the fans, whether it's on when you do your thing, Sevan, or when someone else does another type of show that's doing either analyzing or broadcasting it or whichever. I love doing it. I still have a lot of things to say, and I still enjoy saying them. So. It's okay if CrossFit doesn't want me. They got Chase. He's good.
Someone just gave me an idea for the CrossFit Games Update show. Do a poll for best announcers.
Oh God.
Yeah, that should be brutal, right?
That should go.
Marty Say, perfect.
Marty Say. Oh, one had the best behind the scenes content of all time in all Texas during that.
I do. Marty did do the games one year with you, right?
Yeah, he did, yeah. 2010, 2011, he was still in there. Yeah.
You and Marty opened the CrossFit Games that year in 2010.
Yep.
Was that the year that from the space station they said 3, 2, 1, go?
No, that was when they had the fighter
jets,
the fighter jets come over.
Yeah. Amanda.
Yep, Amanda.
All right, Sevan, what's your second one?
The cat. Oh, okay. Okay, you ready? Okay. Let's go.
You don't like that when people get excited?
When I think of let's go, I think of someone who's bent over, grab their ankles, and someone put the Nike swish just right up their culo. I see that as nothing but a Nike tagline. I don't know if it is or if it's not. I'm not interested in hearing anyone say "let's go." I think it's all it's just the biggest cheese dick line there is in all of sports. I see it on Instagram. I see athletes mouth it.
That's like the thing now.
Dude, all the little kids say it.
I know. I'm done with it.
Hey, you guys, we're gonna row today. All right, let's go.
I'd watch my kids.
Let's go where? To the rower.
Mouth out with soap if he said it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm
That's
done with
funny
it.
You brought that up because
I've
every
never
time
liked
I
it.
see it when an athlete finishes a race in any sport, as you said, or they dunk it or they score, and they just see it like, I'm like, I'm so over this.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I'm so over it. I mean, we're so Hawk-Tui now. Like,
Dude.
like I'm not even like I could watch that clip 1,000 times.
My wife asked me to explain what that is.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that.
I didn't say anything. I was like, if it hasn't gotten to you yet, it will. And the way it does is the most perfect way.
Oh, that's awesome.
Beaver.
Oh,
Thanks, dude. What's up, boys?
Yeah,
You're my favorite people. Thanks, Eaton. That's a good one. I like that. Let's go.
okay. So she hasn't seen the video. She didn't see the video and ask what it was.
No, because she sees like these spin-off memes and this girl's uniting the country. She's like, what is this? I'm like, you just got to wait.
Yeah.
It's in your algorithm somewhere. And I promise you do enough death scrolling.
Like,
it'll come up.
Listen, if she was with her dude, and he went and she gave a Hawk-Tui and he said, let's go, I'll give him a pass.
Yeah. All of these phrases that we don't like.
You get a pass. You get a pass if you yell that at your girl after she gives you a Hawk-Tui. Total pass. Let's go. Yeah.
There's a time. There's a time and place for all.
Yeah. Thanks for fucking up my my submission. Yeah. Okay, you're right.
That's good. Let's go. All right. Gosh. Okay. Ooh, this is mine. For every sideline interview person, if you ever say this again, I hope you get fired before the athlete has an opportunity to answer this stupid question. And if I have to hear, what was your strategy? One more time from you lazy sideline people, because you weren't watching the event and you can't give a specific example of what happened and you just punt to what was your strategy. I will run down and I'll cut the mic cord. You can't even plug it back in. I'll just cut it. And then punch the camera so we can't see you. That is the laziest question I have ever heard. If you're sideline, you should be watching the event as it takes place. You can hear the broadcast in your headset the entire time and listen to what we're talking about. A perfect example, one of the best questions I ever heard from a broadcast. His name's Griffin. He actually works for CrossFit now. And he was fresh, new. This was like the Southeast. I was with Tanya Wagner. And there was this girl that was doing this really weird run up and jump to legless rope climbs. This is a year, was it 2014 where they had the legless 10 rounds?
Oh, yeah.
The first time?
Yeah.
At regionals. And she had this really weird run up. And so we were like, oh, I've never seen anybody do that. What is that? And then she won the event. And then Griffin goes, hey, you were using a unique run to the rope. Where did that come from? She goes, I was an indoor volleyball player and that was my jump serve run up. And I know that I can get the most height when I do that. Versus, what was your strategy on that event and how did you win it?
Right.
And so just go the extra 1/2 a step, watch what's happening, draw questions from the moment, not what was your strategy. It was like, hey, you were doing, it was like, say it's 5 rounds in an event and you went unbroken for 4, but the last round you broke up 12-8 in your last set of toes to bar. Why did you do that?
At the end of the match, I saw you look right and left. What were you looking for?
Exactly. Not
right.
What was your strategy for that workout?
When you say it that way, when it's like, what's your strategy? You weren't at all paying attention.
You weren't paying attention.
It's a grab at tell me something that you did in that event that you were thinking, not a particular, it just shows, you're right, dude. It just shows that they are not remotely engaged in what's happening.
Front or back, Heidi?
Always. It's the first topic that came up.
What was your strategy? Please kill it.
Fill the hole.
Yeah.
All right, Bill. It is really funny that you went to that one because my third one went to right off that, which would usually be the second question right after this one, which is, so you just did that event. What's your recovery going to look like?
What's your recovery going to look
What's
like?
Your recovery going to look like? That to me is the biggest way. You might as well just say, hey, what's your mom's middle name? Because give me a break, man.
Color?
There is not, that is, everybody knows. There's they're not going to say anything special. And this is what's funny is the athlete always gives the same exact response. They go, well, probably get some food
carbs
and
in
just
me.
rest up for tomorrow. Great answer. That was a great use of 18 seconds right there. Awesome.
And the thing with like when you do the behind the scenes, you can do stuff like that. You can say, what's your recovery? And then they say, I'm going to go eat. And then you can follow up with, is it hard getting food down now? Like if you have the time, you can kind of lead down that path.
So then you ask that question, not what's your recovery look like. Man, you had 2 hard days. You have one more day coming up. What kind of fuel do you put in your body to make sure you can get ready for the next day?
Or what's the most difficult thing about you have another workout in an hour? What's going to be the most difficult steps to get, or what's the most difficult thing you have to do? Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem that we've seen is there's not a lot of, not every, like you don't have to have your 4 planned questions. Have 4 planned ones you can use. Depending on whatever their answer is, then go something deep with that again. It doesn't have to be man, that's just the yes and no. No, I'm not thinking. I'm just here to spend some time.
Well, like those questions in itself, like what was your strategy and what's your recovery like? That is a broad topic, and then the detailed questions centered around those main pieces is what is missing.
Right.
We want that. Is like, hey, this was a 60+ minute event. Just absolutely crushing your legs. Like, how do you get your body fueled up and set for the next event coming up? Something in more detail. It's the same thing, but it's actual detail in the question that would hopefully get detailed response in return.
Yep.
I guess, and that's the issue. We want details.
Right.
Well, yeah, we don't want people talking
Don't
talk just to talk.
Get those details.
Yeah. I don't have a number 3. I've been trying. I was going to say something about the spirit, but I think we exhausted that. I apologize. I don't, and this is going to really shock you. I don't have a 4 either, but maybe by the time you come around, I'll have a 4.
There's not, so you don't hear anything on there that bothers you.
Not from the commentators, but if we were to talk about the athletes that know they're going to win, they should take that opportunity to give something of substance. And when it really shows is like when someone like Colton Mertens gets a chance to say something on the mic, he fucking says some shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I know this is off topic here, but let's put some of the onus on the athletes. They're going to ask you a question. You don't have to answer that question. They can be like, so how are you going to recover for tomorrow? And you can be like, I just want to let you guys know that yesterday my dog fucking died. And I held him in my arms and was holding him in my arms 5 minutes before I came out on the floor. Or Björgvin Carl Goodmanson, I had to ride my bike to this event. Like, you can take also control of the floor, and you have your moment to be on the stage, and you should be prepped with something. You should be prepped with something at all times. A good story. You should practice it. And I don't think any of that came naturally for Colton.
No, dude, this has been a whole different year for Colton. It's been really fun to watch him come out of his shell because his persona versus how he talks is very different. I was really glad that he had Mike Arsenault to be able to ask those questions because Mike's good.
Right.
He asks great questions.
Almost too good. He's almost too good.
Right. He is.
Like, hey, what are you doing here? This isn't a black tie event.
He is. He's the best floor interviewer we have, I think. What's interesting is you talk about like letting the athletes take control a little bit. Do you remember when Jacob Hepner grabbed the microphone? I think it was from Nikki. Yes. When Nikki first started, she started talking to him, and he took it, and he took it from her and went straight into the camera. And it was just him talking. And that was Jacob Hepner. I mean, he's got a lot of personality, a lot of panache to do that anyway. But I think that's good. The athletes need to be ready to talk because you're going to talk. Especially if you're good. So
okay,
that's not a bad one.
And then here's another one. Maybe someone needs to come up with a new wave.
That's the Annie wave, dude. They all do that one. That's the Annie wave. That all came from Annie.
We need a new wave. I don't hate it. I understand it. I accept it. But we need a new wave.
That's funny.
Chase, number 4.
All right, number 4. Oh, you guys are smashing my list. All right.
Oh, good. I'm glad you don't have one either.
No, I'm trying to pick between 2.
Can you give me one?
Yes. I'll put it in the I'll put it in the chat.
In the private chat.
Anytime a broadcaster or sideline person will talk about an athlete and either how they got here or how they're doing or what they're trying to accomplish, and they say the phrase, they deserve it.
Oh,
The word deserve. No
How did I
one
not think of that?
deserves anything. No athlete deserves to win. No one deserves to be there. They either earned it or they didn't. And that's one of the huge draws to CrossFit I love outside of the competition floor, is that you have earned everything that you've gotten, whether that's good or whether that's bad. It's like, well, I'm getting stronger. It's like, yes, you earned it because you're putting work in the gym. It's like, I'm getting out of shape. Yeah, you earned that because you're not going in the gym. No one deserves anything. Extenuating circumstances aside, some maybe act of gods or something like that. But as far as the competition floor is concerned, no one deserves anything. And when I hear an announcer go, oh, I'm so happy that they're in the final heat or they're finally going to the CrossFit Games because no one deserves it more, or they really deserve to be here, or this, like the word deserve in general for me is just a disgusting word of.
You
It's like a
definitely
trigger
don't
word.
want your kid, especially as a parent, you definitely don't want your kids ever thinking like that, right? That's why you start hearing those things and you become sensitive to those nuances. The only person that deserves something is if Bill crosses the finish line before Chase and they give Chase the win, you can be like, hey, the time clock there shows that Bill actually deserves the win.
Right.
But other than that, like, don't use the word. It's the same with fair. Like
Fair,
fair needs to
fair,
be, fair
deserved.
falls in that thing. Yeah. It's like, hey, like,
It's like, oh, my dog got like brain cancer. It's like, well, my dog doesn't deserve that.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
there's an instance when
he
it
was a
comes
good
like
dog.
that. But as far as like performance you can control in a competition floor or your fitness in general, deserves, just get it out of your vocabulary. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Did your dog really get brain cancer?
No, my dog did get cancer.
But not brain. You just doubled down on
She
it.
just had it everywhere else.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was rough. She did not deserve that. What did Watt Zombie say? Super chat. I hate it when announcers mention athletes' strange hair color. To be fair, I never mentioned an athlete's hair color. That was a child's hair color. So
What about talking about their apparel? What if you were like, oh, that's a great color. Josh Bridges chose the red
You know
shorts
what?
and the
I'm
blue
pushing
top.
back on that. Athletes dye their hair so people talk about it. If you don't want people to talk about your hair, then just like keep it normal. So I disagree.
Oh,
Or the multicolored shoes or the weird outfits, like they're not doing that so people don't notice them or so people don't talk about them. So if you put yourself in that position, like if you came out to the floor naked,
or with
I'm gonna
long
bring that up.
fingernails. Like, is Danielle Brandon going to compete with those beautiful fingernails she has? Like, you got to comment on those if she does.
Well, it would be like, how do you compete? And that right there would be the color commentator's job to talk about how is it to lift with the barbell, do the pull-ups with long nails. But as far as like the hair color and the shorts and all that, if any commentator is talking about hair color or whatever, it's so that you can see them on the screen. Every time we talk about the color of anyone or that anything is the color of anyone's clothing or their hair or whatever, a distinguishing characteristic, it's so that you can see who we're talking about on the screen. On the right side there of the screen in the blue shorts with the purple hair.
Like you can't say lane 3 because people don't know what direction the lanes are in. But yeah, bottom right corner in the purple shorts. Or
Especially from the parking lot cam.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, hey, you really got to be on your P's and Q's there.
I want to bring up something way off topic and see if you guys saw this. A couple days ago, I can't remember her name, but she's a famous track star. She came out of the fucking blocks. And
she's untied one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy nails.
Yeah, I think this chick I think as she came out of the blocks, she stepped on one of her shoelaces, and then as she crossed the finish line, her shoelaces were flapping around.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah. Dude, she's really toned it down though. Like when she first came out.
She looks normal. She used to act like a drug addict. She used to act like she did. But you know what I mean? Like in my hometown, there'd be like girls like her at the gas station, like saying like inappropriate shit to me, like, and with the same kind of like demeanor that she has. Yeah, she looked like a totally different person in this run.
But, I mean, think about other athletes back in the day, track and field specifically. Michael Johnson in the gold shoes, or Jackie Joyner Kersey in the nails.
Or how about that? Didn't Jackie Joyner also only wear one leg?
Maybe.
No, that was FloJo.
Oh, maybe that was
it is FloJo.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But
when
any
she
of
did
that stuff, like
Yeah,
if
one
you're
pant
doing
leg.
something outside of what would be considered just normal, whatever, you're doing it for attention. Therefore, you have put yourself in a position to have attention drawn to it.
Hey, I think FloJo died.
Yeah, she did.
Isn't
That was
that
a while ago.
at
I wanna say that was
38?
years
Damn,
ago.
I can't blame my usual cause for that. That happened in 1998. Darn it.
Yeah, that's right. Bill, did you give your 4? Or that was my 4?
I haven't given my 4 yet.
Okay, you give your 4.
Mine. This is one that kills me, and I think it's because I guess this would be kind of a selfish idea, but not every single CrossFit athlete or CrossFit fan is also a mega football, baseball, basketball nerd to know all the history of all the games of all of the 1972 championship of whatever, where they are talking about our sport, the one that's on the TV, and they go, and this is exactly like the 1962 World Series when White Sox Brown hit the ball. Like, I don't care, dude. Shut your mouth. Talk about CrossFit. I'm sorry that you're not a very good lifter or you're not a very good CrossFitter and all you know about is being a football or baseball fan, but I don't want to hear about the football or baseball fans because I'm not that guy. I like football. I like baseball, but I'm not a mega fan. So stop bringing all of these other examples of our sport that are not our sport into our sport and try to use that as an example of our sport. Drives me effing crazy.
It's a weird cross between the two.
Oh, dude.
And,
it's so bad. They don't do that in other sports.
Fuck you and all your Star Wars references too. You can take them and shove them right up your ass.
I mean, and I like Star Wars and I know all the things he's talking about, but yeah, we don't need them. We don't need them. Unless it is like current, like the only time I could see that is if it was ultra current to right now, not history stuff like way back in the day, because not everybody knows. And it ends up what it is. It's you're talking inside jokes, and that's not what commentators need to be doing.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
unless I'm trying to do that on purpose.
That was one of the greatest lines ever said by an athlete. It's amazing that it came from him. Jeffrey Adler hit the jacuzzi.
Dude, him and Arsenault,
that's their
Arsenault
thing. Yeah.
And I love that. And every time they get interviewed, together, I hope that comes up.
It will.
The jacuzzi.
If I text Mike right now, I'll be like, "What's up, dude?" He's like, "The jacuzzi is warm." Every time. That's his first statement every time.
Why did Mike originally get that from him? Did Mike ask him a question where he said it? Is that where it originated?
I think he brought it to us.
Something
And then
like, well, we used
he
to
brought
do
it to
that.
us that weekend. That one weekend, it was all of us, all the commentators, all the MCs, and he's like, "Hey, we're going to the in the jacuzzi tonight, right?" And then he just made such a big deal about it. And then I think because Canadian, he was just like, "Hey, so what are you doing? Are you jacuzzi?" And it just kind of went.
God, it's so funny.
So good.
What's up, Casey?
Oh, that's a great one.
Oh, and
that's
he's
a great one.
Stud.
And the announcers say adaptive athletes are, quote, inspiring.
It's so inspiring.
It's
so inspiring. They did so good for blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's like, listen, motherfucker, we know he got one arm and he just outsnatched me. Like, I get it. Both my arms. I understand.
Oh, so good.
All right. And the reason why, just real quick, and the reason why it's fucked up is because part of it is like, there's a demeaning dimension to it. It's like, hey man, this is the space where they're just competing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
it's not inspiring now. They're all on the floor equally doing battle. It's not
he's already in the fucking one arm class, or he's in the short class, or the whatever the class. Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's or along that same lines. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah.
All right, you're up, Sevan.
Speaking of,
I promise next time I'll become more prepared. Oh, I just said mine, Star Wars.
Oh, the Star Wars.
Was that it?
I piggybacked off of yours. Sorry, I had to piggyback
how
off of yours.
about add on to that is like any pop culture reference that is just not made for the moment.
You mean every Marvel superhero one?
Yeah.
I mean, and, hey, here we are. We're here with Captain America and Wolverine. Like, I get it, but like, doesn't belong on a live sport broadcast. It doesn't. That is your own. Again, that's the inside joke thing. It's like, oh, me and him, we have this silly little thing we talk about, so we're going to say our silly little thing here. We're not going to include the millions of people that are watching. It's just us. And that's not what they're supposed to be doing. It's supposed to be like we're inviting you all into the conversation.
All right, I'll wrap it with this. This is my number. I don't even know why I thought of it. Didn't think. I was thinking about phrases, but I would say this: when an announcer, this pulls up what you guys just said, and all of these things in like inside jokes or joke comment, when they make it about them. That's my biggest one of all of them. So when you are on a broadcast and you think people are there to listen to you.
When give me an example. Like when I did that workout, I didn't even get half that time.
No, not even that specific. It's more like they're trying to like create the cool voiceover for this moment, or tell either a personal story for me, or I'm going to make too many jokes, or I'm going to try to be too cute with this little thing, or these little inside quips. And when they start taking away from what people are actually there for, and that's to watch the athletes compete against each other, you tell us the story. We can't follow it as well as you, the broadcasters can, because they've got more information and they're closer to the action. That's what you're there for. You're there to tell the story, what's happening on the floor, not say, I'm the person telling this story, right? Mentioning yourself, and or like when announcers make it about them and not about the athletes, that drives me up the freaking wall. And I get so mad when I hear that or I see that in any sport.
It's the announcer trying to get the not Sean Woodland trying to get their Instagram Sean Woodland one phrase where like nothing matters about this. I have to get this comment in because it's going to make me look good.
And you see it like written down on their paper. It drives me nuts.
Oh,
and you can hear them. You can hear them read it.
Yeah.
I don't mind if the commentator says, I was in the athlete warm-up area earlier and I saw Tia Toomey limping, and I walked up to her and asked her what was going on, and this is what she told me.
No, I think that's completely different.
Okay, right? Because then I kind of like that. Okay, I know that person interacting. This is firsthand knowledge. You're okay with that?
Yeah, 100%.
No, totally.
Yeah.
That's information you're giving to the fans.
And it brings some credibility to what you're doing and giving to the fans at the same time. But it's those that they're trying to make this like huge, like the what can't this guy do thing from Sean Woodland. Yeah. Like that just happened. And it happened because of what Matt was doing, and Sean was just reacting to it. And then you hear Bill just jaw drop it in the background on the tail end of that. Like that was just so natural and raw. But then you see broadcasters try to
do that,
right? They want an iconic clip or an iconic line, and they'll either go way over the top in like heat 1 over lane 5, who's just finishing 4th in the heat, or just too much.
Like, I'm not coming back on anymore. I better use my line now.
Yeah. Right? Just stop. It's not about you.
What about this? Do you think someone could pull this off? 3rd and 7, 3 seconds left on the clock. Tyson Bagent's in the shotgun, rolled out, and wide receivers DJ Moore. It's the snap. Hawk Tui. DJ Moore catches the ball in the end zone. The Bears win it.
Like honestly, that's
right now. Yes.
Could you work in a Hawk Tui or something?
Right now, you could, because everyone is talking about it and everybody knows that.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't have to be.
Is that a dare?
You don't have to be a certain fan to do that. But I say yes.
Will that still be viral by the time we get to the CrossFit
Dude,
Games?
if anyone could work in Hawk Tui in a broadcast, it would be amazing. Hawk Tui.
All right. Although I probably shouldn't have brought this on the podcast. All right, Sevan, thanks so much for hopping on with us. It was
thanks for letting me rail your podcast. Derail.
Everything what we wanted. My son's. I got to get my son ready for a little tutoring, but that was fun. Thank you guys for rolling with us. Hashtag me too. All right, we will be back tomorrow with John Yun ranking the rookies. Of the rookie athletes going to the CrossFit Games. Around the Whiteboard is tomorrow as well. And you got your weekly with Greg Glassman in the morning. Is that correct? So a hell of a Wednesday.
I watch it every morning, by the way.
Good. Wednesday's packed. We've got Sevan with Greg. We've got Around the Whiteboard with Pedro. We have our show with John Young, and then the spin at night. Like Wednesday's a hell of a week.
Hawk Tui.
Hawk Tui.
Hawk Spit on our thing. All right, guys. See you next time.
Peace.